Got some little tiny beers.
Yeah.
You guys asked. We're going to answer. First question comes in from Sean Harmon.
Okay.
The Eagles have signed Carson Wentz to a massive deal. Do you think it was warranted? Will it affect the quarterback market more if Wentz is healthy? Salary cap.
Yeah.
The salary cap started in 1994. It was set at $34.6 million. Mm-hmm. We're talking 15 years ago, right? So last year, it made its way up to $177.2 million.
Okay.
This year, it jumped up some more, $191.1 million.
So what you're saying to me is, even though his contract is bigger, it's taking out the same amount of percentages of the salary cap.
But it's roughly the same amount for each position. The quarterback position, it was between, I want to say it was 11 to 16%. And guess what? Eli Manning was up near the top of that list on percentage during whatever year that he got his contract extension.
Do you think it'll make the quarterback position more expensive? That's what he's really asking.
I think the salary cap in general makes the quarterback position more expensive. And it's going to continue to trend that way. Quarterback is the most important position on the NFL field. When you have an Eli Manning, you're going to get, a Saquon Barkley the next year.
Who do you think will win the Super Bowl this upcoming season? Is there any team that you guys think will make a huge leap, make the playoffs that didn't make the playoffs last year? And the answer is yes. I have 3 teams here.
Hold on. Who's your Super Bowl pick? Because I have given this very little thought as far as who's going to win the Super Bowl. I've statted guys out, but Super Bowl pick.
It's a tough one because there's 5 teams that you could slot in there.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going with...
Pick a 1A and a 1B. Two teams.
1A. The New Orleans Saints.
Okay. Can't get mad.
1B. The New England Patriots.
So it's AFC versus NFC. Is that the Super Bowl matchup?
Probably not.
Yeah, it's way too early for that. But I'm going to pick an AFC and an NFC team also. I'm going to go with the Indianapolis Colts.
I like it.
Defense.
You don't have to explain that big.
Okay. All right. So an NFC pick for me is I'm also going to have to pick the Saints.
Saints, baby.
Let's
do it.
All right.
All right, so my 3 teams that can make the playoffs and missed the playoffs last year. Obviously, you have the Browns. They already improved last season, and then you got the additions of the players in the offseason, and it's going to be Baker's second year, Nick Chubb's second year, blah, blah, blah. So you got them.
That's the obvious
choice.
Okay. Just pick one more.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
2 years ago, they were in the AFC Championship game.
Bounce back, baby.
They're in the AFC Championship game.
I like that pick.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with last year, the 4-10 San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, I like that pick. They have a lot of pieces there.
I don't feel like it needs to be explained. Jimmy Garoppolo comes back healthy.
Tim Coleman, Jared McKinnon.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of additions at the wide receiver position.
Mm-hmm.
Next pick.
All right. My next one is going to be, I'm going to say the Green Bay Packers.
I like it. I mean,
they are in a tough division with the Bears, the Vikings,
the Lions,
the
Bears. We're just kidding.
But the Packers, we got Aaron Rodgers. He was injured all last year. He played through injury.
Aaron Jones wasn't getting the load he should have gotten.
Yeah, and a lot of people, including you, have said that Matt LaFleur is known for a running back by committee, but 2 years ago, Matt LaFleur was the offensive coordinator of the Los Angeles Rams with Todd Gurley.
Mm-hmm. If he has the talent there, he will use his talent.
I feel like Aaron Jones is going to pop.
Next question.
Next question. I'm going to butcher this name, and then I'm going to let you read the question. Joseph Impastato. Joseph Impastato says,
Do you think the Chargers are in a Super Bowl or bust situation? Yes, I do.
he's concerned with the contract situations, but the reality is this year the contracts that are expiring are Phillip Rivers, Mike Pouncey, center, Melvin Gordon, Austin Eckler, Hunter Henry.
Those are some big names.
Big names, but those positions, except for the quarterback, don't warrant heavy contracts. The problem comes in 2021 when Melvin Ingram, defensive end, Joey Bosa, defensive end, left tackle,
Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen. These are the positions that demand high pay. I think that they have 2 years, or at that point, if they don't win by next year, they're going to have some issues, and it's going to be time to rebuild.
Yes, I think this is their year, Super Bowl or bust. Short answer is yes, because Phillip Rivers isn't getting any younger, and you do have money on the books coming up.
He's having more kids, though. This question comes in from Slater James. Do you prefer to drink dark beer or light beer during the season? I like to drink dark beer in the wintertime because it's more filling, but I can drink a shit ton more of this light beer and just drink it all day on Sundays.
I don't care. I will drink whatever you put in front of me.
Whiskey?
Yeah. Whiskey,
Rum?
beer, rum, tequila, vodka, Four Locos.
Semen?
Whatever you put in front of me.
Sorry. Do you think Gary Kubiak is the answer the Vikings are looking for?
I don't know if he's the answer, but he's not going to be a problem. And the Vikings, I feel like, are primed for a good year.
So Gary Kubiak, his whole philosophy, in my opinion, is basically you run the ball first.
Yeah.
Which is
What they need to do.
what it's trending towards. You run the ball first, play action, and bootlegs. I don't think the bootleg is really Kirk Cousins' strength, but I do think that it can work at any point if you're running the ball successfully.
Yeah.
And it's not going to hurt. He's a great offensive mind. Rest easy knowing that. Nikolas Kill says, how do you feel about Vic Fangio to Denver? And how about our offense? That ain't your team. But most importantly, how will our team do this year? Denver Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
What you think?
Maybe 8-8. If Flacco can have a good year and they run the ball, Philip Lindsay. I really like the tight ends they got there with Noah Fant.
Okay. Fangio was the defensive coordinator for the Bears. Yeah. He was the defensive coordinator for the Bears last year. They had some studs. The 49ers 3 years prior to that. All 3 years. It's a defensive-minded coach. You got a quarterback like Joe Flacco. I do not like him.
I like him better than Case Keenum. You were a big believer of Case Keenum, though.
I think what happened was Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs made me believe Case Keenum. That's all it was. But
Give me a prediction right now. Spend too much time on this.
7-9.
All right.
I think they missed the playoffs. I think that the Chargers will win that division.
Yes, I do too.
Zach Blanken says, Marlon Mack or Dalvin Cook in PPR?
Give me Dalvin Cook.
All day, baby. Dalvin Cook's going to have a bounce back. I'm hoping he doesn't. I hope he breaks the curse of, that injury prone.
Also, he has which rookie wide receivers and running backs are you liking? I'm liking David Montgomery, Josh Jacobs, and also Miles Sanders.
I'm not liking Miles Sanders all that much this year, but
Also,
running backs,
David Singletary, Buffalo Bills running back. Keep your eye on him.
Yeah, Devin Singletary is the reason why. Devin Singletary, remember that name. He's going to take over late in the year. All right, so the obvious answers here. David Montgomery, Josh Jacobs, not in that order, by the way, and Nikhil Harry. But my personal favorite that's not obvious, still kind of obvious, Paris Campbell. I love this kid.
You love the Colts.
I think I do. They're going to use this guy as a gadget player. Think Tyreek Hill's rookie season. Paris Campbell is my favorite rookie wide receiver. He's got a great opportunity. He can make it happen. Jimmy Palucci.
How long have you guys known each other, and what made you want to start this awesome group? First off, thanks for the awesome question.
We met each other about 3 years ago. His girlfriend brought him over here. My wife's best friend brought him over here. Well, he came over here wearing a cardigan.
Trying to make a good impression, not dress nice.
Yeah. We were hanging out. Like, I asked him, hey, you play fantasy football? Yeah, I play, blah, blah, whatever. About 3 years ago, he brought over like an 18-pack of Bud Light Platinums. He pounded all of them in a very short period of time.
I did not know my night was over until I sat down. I was like, yeah, I'm not getting back up.
And we have been hanging ever since. I love this guy.
And fantasy, really is what made this bond. He got me into, I was already playing, but he, got me to be, into fantasy. And I got to where it was, all I was thinking about, calling him. We'd spend phone calls, all day phone calls, just talking about fantasy and what trades we can work out. What do you think here? What do you think there? Just, where we were like, man, the stuff that we were saying and telling each other, I hear on the podcast I listen to. I hear that the experts. I'm saying the same things before I hear the experts say them.
Yeah, we're saying them.
That's what made us want to start this awesome group, because we know there's other guys out there just like us who love to drink beer and watch football and just talk football and beer.
I hope that everyone who watches football also likes to drink beer. As long as you're of age in whatever state you're in. I know it's a little different. Yeah. Joseph Impastato says, would you rather eat your favorite meal every day for the rest of your life or never be able to eat it again?
Never be able to eat it again, because I can get damn close with a lot of different combinations.
There are so many good foods, but a medium rare ribeye
I could not eat steak every day.
I couldn't either. I'd be so fat.
Say your favorite meal is steak and potatoes?
Yeah.
You can have steak and french fries. Loophole.
Next question comes from Colleen O'Neill Kunkel. Sorry, I know I butchered that also.
The Vikings fans, better watch out. Skull Nation.
Would you rather know when you're going to die or be surprised?
Be surprised.
You'd rather be surprised.
Yeah, I was actually listening to something on the way here where this guy had he was terminally ill, and I was like, man, that's got to suck, because even if you do your best and try to live the most normal life you can. You could be having a great time, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere,
I'm gonna die tomorrow.
all of a sudden out of nowhere, it's just, man, like I got that clock ticking down.
All right, so here's my answer. I would rather not know, but I want my entire family and everyone else to know, because what's gonna happen? They know you're gonna die. They don't want to tell you. They're gonna pamper the shit out of you. You're gonna have a great time.
That would make me more nervous. They're like, oh God, they're spoiling me and must be here.
No, but if they know you're gonna die next year, you got a whole year.
Yeah, it's a year.
They're still gonna be nice and love you. And...
No, I don't. Yeah, don't. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't
Alright.
want to know. Period.
One more question.
Nikolas Kill says, "Would you rather lose the Super Bowl or not even make the playoffs?"
If we're talking on the year-to-year basis, not even make the playoffs, because you're setting me up with a higher draft pick. If we're talking about for fucking eternity, you got to let me in them playoffs, baby. I need some football to watch in February. I need some football to watch in January.
I'm gonna pick losing the Super Bowl, but that being said, my favorite team is my fantasy team, and we're gonna get to some more of these questions. But this next question, we're gonna bring in our medical professional expert to answer. This question comes in from Alex Fleming. Why do young, athletic black quarterbacks always get labeled the stigma of mobile?
I don't think they get labeled as that. I think that's how the public views it. But if you look at it, you got your quarterbacks like RG3, Cam Newton, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson. These guys, when you got Lamar Jackson, even when you have a guy like Russell Wilson who can play from the pocket, you can't deny that he is 80% more mobile than most quarterbacks in the league. He might not necessarily be a scrambler, but he is a mobile quarterback.
Who is the most mobile quarterback in the NFL?
Lamar Jackson. And take race out of this completely. I'm just looking at the players. Mm-hmm. But then you also have the exceptions to that question. You have your
Josh Allen's.
Yeah.
The thing is,
but I'm saying you also have the other scale. Like you have your Dwayne Haskins. People say he's a statue in the pocket.
Yeah, and he is. But there is science behind this question, and we are going to give you the science behind it from our medical professional. Physical therapy, our personal medical professional, my lovely wife, Chelsea, is going to step in. Bye.
Yes.
Bye.
Hi, Truth Serum people.
Bye. Why do young, athletic black quarterbacks always get labeled with the stigma of mobile?
Okay, well, this just comes down to science. And it is typically, not always, but typically, that black people have more what are considered fast twitch muscle fibers. They fire quickly, they're explosive, but they can't go for very long. That's what makes black people successful in basketball, football, any of your, where you need to run super fast, super quick, but only for a short amount of time. White people are usually equipped with more slow twitch muscle fibers, which they're not as explosive, but they last longer. So that's why white people typically are the better swimmers, long distance runners, things like that. And it does come back to simple science. So nobody get mad at me, I'm just the messenger. Basically, your fast twitch muscle fibers rely on short-term energy storage, and they don't need a constant supply of oxygen to sustain that activity because it doesn't sustain it for very long. Okay, so slow twitch muscle fibers, on the other hand, are aerobic muscle fibers. They require a constant supply of oxygen to sustain that long-term use of energy. That's why the endurance is longer. You are born with the number of muscle fibers you are going to have. There are things that you can do to increase the strength of those fibers, but you cannot facilitate your body to grow more of a certain type of fiber. If you are a person who was born, with more slow twitch muscle fibers, you can do things like weightlifting or, explosive sports to enhance the fast twitch fibers that you have, because everybody does have both. But there is no way to create more of those. Again, to reiterate, this is not a race thing, but black people tend to have somewhere in the ballpark of 7% more fast twitch muscle fibers than white people. So yeah, that's why they're more explosive and they do better in sports such, like football, basketball, things like that.
I understand that, in my opinion, as a white male, I feel like
You're a fast twitch person?
blacks are the superior race as far as physical.
Well, that being said, and I don't, want to get too sciencey on you guys, but because black people have fewer slow twitch muscle fibers and they're used to more, explosive activity, but for shorter periods of time, that actually predisposes them to more disease and issues later in life. So it's kind of a trade-off. I mean, I'm not saying that, a healthy black person or every black person is going to, develop diabetes later in life, but they are more likely to do so if they are one of those people who have a tendency toward more fast twitch than slow twitch muscle fibers. And it just comes down to your biology.
Science.
So, yeah.
I want to get to this question.
Okay, one more question, and then we'll save the rest for when Casey comes back to us.
He had to go, but I really wanted to answer this question. There are more that we wanted to go to, but Joe Impastato, again, lots of great questions, asked, would you rather live in a cave or in a treehouse? So the real question is, do you want to be Batman or Tarzan? Well, Batman is rich and Tarzan don't have any air conditioning. So my choice is a cave because it's nice and cool and I like caves.
What kind of caves do you like? Like the deep, dark, wide ones? Or do you like the more,
I like the ones that are tight and...
No, let me just answer this question directly. Yeah, dude. Joseph Impastato, definitely a cave. I don't know why anybody would want to live in a tree. There's more bugs. It's hot. No air conditioning. Caves are dark and I don't know. I can sleep in a cave.
The real question was, would you rather be Batman or Tarzan? I'd rather be Doctor Strange because I could travel to the future, find out all the scores to the games, find out how everyone did, and give you guys perfect fantasy advice.
Doctor Strange was not...
He wasn't a time traveler?
He's a time traveler. But he's also kind of a dick. Batman, rich,
You like
super
dicks?
cool. Yeah, I do. Batman, rich, super cool gadgets. I mean, he can climb mountains. He can go underwater. He's got something for everything. And he has a cave. Definitely Batman. But he probably doesn't have good fantasy advice.
Yeah, I doubt it. But thanks for watching. And as always,